أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله. For a moment, I'd like for you to just reflect on something that we all experienced together, but to put it into a perspective that one person who lives in a blockaded area of his own country is right now traveling around to get people to just recognize the difficulty that his people are going through. When I walked into that camp a few years ago, the things that you see when you immediately go in is a wall that has the names of so many whose lives have been taken unjustly. But a few steps into it, what comes is a spot where young boys were just playing with a ball and a mark to remember one of those young boys who was killed by a sniper for no other reason other than who he is. You gotta think about the nature of the world and what it's come down to, that somebody who's in a place not of their own accord, but nonetheless still oppression, has to come and say thank you for being given something that was rightfully theirs in the first place. And to understand it within the capacity of a community that is known to step up when people are in need. The adab of our tradition is that when an invitation is offered, you accept the invitation. But you accept the invitation on the terms of the one that is inviting you. And there's many people who they have a deep desire for you to go to spaces that are not rightfully theirs and to give you an understanding of what has transpired in those areas that are other than what has actually taken place. So I want you to think about what it must be like to get to a place where someone has to come to you and say, thank you for helping me feed my people. Thank you for helping me to provide basic medicines to my people. Thank you for providing something to distract the young people in our lives from what it is that surrounds them. When you go there, it's an entire area that is engulfed in a wall that is like this, but nothing that you can see beyond. And if you dare to take steps out of the place that the one is seeking to hold you down in has told you that you're entitled to walk, there's no qualms. A bullet just comes. So make dua on this day of Jumu'ah that Allah continues to make us those who help people in their time of need. And never get to a place where we think we are deserving of gratitude for something that is our responsibility towards His creation. To understand that if your mind was floating in different directions, that you got to bring stillness into your heart and to be able to recognize what it is. And then make a niyyah that somebody came all this way, going through something you can't even imagine to get to this place. Just to share a little bit of their story. And you and I, who have a lot more ease in certain ways, have now a responsibility to find the courage to go and be with someone in their space where they are struggling, rather than relying on them to solely come and share their voice in this way. They can't be the way that we do it as a community, especially a community of Muslims. When you go there, you can't imagine just the beauty, just the sheer character of the Palestinian people. We went to Jumu'ah in the Haram, and immediately after the prayer is done, the soldiers come in, no etiquette whatsoever for the space. Not only beating the people whose land that they are occupying, but also the medics who come to help, beating them too. We went to masjids where we got caught in the rain. One imam, his name was Khalid also, he took us to a high level of the masjid to have some just rest and brought us dates and water and things. And he asked where we came from and where we were staying, and we said, this is where we are. And he was so happy that we were there. And he said that I tried last Ramadan to go with 3 of my friends to pray in the masjid. He said they wouldn't let us in past certain barricades. And then they killed one of my friends. But no part of him was anything other than happy that we got to go pray in a place that he longed to pray in. Loving for your brother what you love for yourself manifest in a totally different way. As you break out of the distractions of the materialistic world that shackles you, you think about what does all of this really mean, and what is the point of all of it, and what will I stand in front of the divine? And the goal in and of itself is not to open the Quran to find a prescription that says that this is what will ultimately end injustice. This is what will end poverty. This is what will end hunger. There's not a verse in there that says, here's the magic wand that you wave and all of it's gone. What it's going to tell you is these things exist, and your responsibility is to make sure that you're doing what you can with what you've been given as spiritual gifts and God-given talents, wealth, resources, networks. To do your part to break it down in whatever way that you can, so that nobody is hungry, nobody is without a roof over their head, nobody has to live under oppression and inequity, and you're doing right simply because it's the right thing to do. So open your heart to the words of our brother, who it is our honor that you are here with us. And recognize if any other place than somebody who is in this space of existence could have come, he came to your community. Why did Allah bring him here for you to hear? And what is it then that you are going to do with everything that he has shared with you? Inshallah ta'ala will be from amongst those who continue to be a means through which Allah feeds his creation, shelters his creation, brings strength and hope to his creation. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. إن الحمد لله إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. Social Justice 101 teaches us not to put struggles in competition with one another. My family's from Kashmir, an occupied land. May Allah grant them ease. Amen. I'm not going to ever stand in front of a place and say that I will not go and get done what I have the ability to get done because people are not doing for my own people. This is a deen that teaches us وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, that all of the children of Adam are elevated. You just got to think for yourself. Why did Allah make you a doctor? Why did Allah make you an engineer? Why did Allah make you a lawyer? Why did Allah give you capacity of knowledge and academic and activist and artist? Why did Allah bring you to a place where the greatest challenges that you have are not necessarily rooted in what of the lot of the rest of the world is? Why do you sit in community where you're not sitting next to somebody necessarily who shares race with you or class with you or culture with you? Why do you get to be in a place that you have been given what it is that you have? It's not because what we've been given is a sign that we deserve it. And you can use it however you want to. All you got to remember is when you stand in front of the divine, you're going to have to explain why you did with it, what you did with it when you had the chance. And I know for me, we're not given all of this so we can sit in our own comfort. As we've moved past now certain things that became obstacles out of our hand, we're going to get back in the business of building the clinics and building the pantries and building more shelters and continuing to do the good work, alhamdulillah, that I'm so proud of each of you that you've done thus far. And you have to think about what it means to have a certain station, a certain maqam, just like you have different things that label you as identity boxes, that you're much more than any one of those. When you stand in front of Allah, you get to be from amongst those that when you had the choice to help somebody who was held down or to just turn your back away, you help somebody who was held down. And whether it was $1 or $5 or 1,000 or whatever else it was, consistently for years, you've been a mechanism to help people who are internally displaced in their own land. What you give them is hope. What you give them is a sense that they're not forgotten. Don't lose sight of how you contribute to that. And then be bold enough to think bigger, more creatively. Allah is the one that gave you the ability to dream as to how you can pool everything that you have together. In every row that we're going to pray in is every skill set needed to build amazing things. You just have to overcome what's inside that has you following somebody else's understanding of who you're supposed to be as a minority. And remember who your teacher is, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then just get done what it is that you have the ability to, because that's what Allah has gifted you with, and that's what's the right thing to do. May Allah make this a community that continues to help people in their time of need. May He remove from our hearts whatever it is that gets in the way, that helps us or keeps us from seeing ourselves the way our Creator sees us. May He make us a continued source of benefit for His creation, and allow for us to go and build what it is that we can't expect anyone else to build for ourselves. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وفي الآخرين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين We begin this supplication in your name, Ya Allah, and beseech you to send your choicest salutations upon your most beloved, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. We ask that you shower your infinite mercy upon this gathering, granting each and every one who is present here and our loved ones only the best in this world and the best in the next. We ask, Ya Allah, that if all of us are meant to be together only at this time, at this place, whether we are young or old, male or female, regardless of our race, our ethnicity, our social class, our country of origin, our cultural heritage, whether we are Muslim or come from a different walk of life, Ya Rabbi, if our individual hearts are meant to be in the presence of all other hearts that are gathered here, only at this time, at this place, then gather us all together again in the best of places in the world beyond this one. Increase us, Ya Allah, in all that is good. Make us always those who bring benefit to your creation. Make us the reason that people have hope in this world, and never the reason that people might dread it. Make us always those who side with the oppressed, and never those who side with the oppressors. Let us never be those who fail to speak out against injustice in any of its forms, even if it means speaking against ourselves. Help us to be a source of kindness, compassion, and love for so many. Let us never be the reason that anyone feels forgotten in this world. Make us those whose hearts are filled with wakefulness, who pay attention to both who is present and absent in the spaces that we are finding ourselves situated in. And then leverage every gift that you have given us. Leverage every shred of power that we have. Take all of the privilege that you have endowed us with, and to make sure that those who are underserved and underprivileged will have their rights restored. Grant our brother Anas a safe return home, Ya Allah. And let nobody harm him on his way back to what is his homeland. Let him have the solace that there are people here in this community who will always pray for him and his loved ones every day that we have breaths in this world. And give us the strength to be a means through which you bring to them what it is that is theirs rightfully in the first place. Make us a generation, Ya Allah, that sees a free Palestine in our lives and end the occupation that is taking place there. For any people that find themselves living under tyranny, inequity, oppression, Ya Salam, we ask you to descend your divine peace on this world that is deeply in need of it, and make us from amongst those who are the conveyors of a peace rooted in a real justice always. Forgive us, Ya Allah, when we intellectualize other people's pains, when we make excuses for our passivity and don't do what it is that we have the ability to do. Make us those that if we did not live well yesterday, that we live in the ways that you would want us to live on this day. And when we live good today, Ya Allah, make us those who live even better tomorrow, with the recognition that every step that we take in this world is leading us only to a place in the world beyond this one. Help us to embody the actions of those who deeply believe in your akhirah, and make us from amongst those who are given entrance into your Jannah without any judgment. Protect us always from hearts that are not humble, tongues that are not wise, and eyes that have forgotten how to cry. Forgive us for our shortcomings and guide and bless us all. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وأقيموا الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Oh, please straighten the lines as much as you can. If you guys can come forward more so that the line's straight.
Do you want the other microphone?
Yeah,
Do you
just
want the mic from Anas?
yeah. I could, that would be. But the line's like curving.
If you line up the back of your heels instead of the front of your toes, the rows will be straighter. So take a moment, please, to just look down. If somebody can pass the other mic up from near the projector screen. Anas, the mic you were using, if you could just pass it up through the rows, we'd appreciate it. This one's not working.
Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. As a reminder, the sadaqah from today is going to be going towards this campaign. If you can please scan the QR code before you leave, we'd appreciate it. Please do give what you can. Anything that goes in the cash bins will also go. You scan the QR codes on the donation bins, those won't go to this, that'll go to the IC. So please just keep that in mind. Once people are done praying their sunnah, enough of prayers, we're going to have a brother, Eduardo, who's going to be taking a shahada, inshallah. So if you can please stick around for that, we'd appreciate that in just a few minutes. And there's also on your way out at the table more info on the camp, the IDA camp programs, and they